Okay, guys, welcome back to another vintage video. Today we're playing Dredge. We are in a vintage challenge, and we're playing a recent Munchlax list with 9 permission spells, 8 forces, 1 misstep. Our chalice is in the board, and then we've got 3 thugs, but 4 of the other dredgers. I don't know how to get rid of this preview thing, but here it is. So what's that? That's Stinkweed Imps, Shambling Shells, so 12 dredgers, 3 ghouls, 4 Icarids, 4 grief, 4 prized amalgam, 4 narcomoeba to kill. And then post board, vigors, traps for the mirror, torment scripts for the mirror. That's a lot of mirror hate, good grief. Sickening shoal for creature hate. So we're gonna run this through a challenge, see how we do. God, I hate this little. I've just reinstalled Magic Online, so it's gonna be weird trying to get rid of this hover. The hover's actually probably quite good from a presentation point of view, isn't it? But it's just a bit annoying. So today we're playing Dredge 36. I'll see you down there for round 1. Okie dokie, then round 1 up against Eric, and we've got no Bazaar at Baghdad, so we'll take a mulligan. Another hand with no Bazaar. Not ideal, but you know it's going to happen. So to 5 we go, to 4 we go, and now we'll powder, getting rid of. Oh no, we'll keep in some threats and say done. Now we've got a Bazaar, so we keep this. Eric's on the play on 6 cards. And they have a Scalding Ton and a Black Lotus. None of that sparks joy. And a Mox Ruby. And then just a passing of the turn. No Lurus from our opponent, so could have Hull Breacher, could have their own Bowman just for the vibes. We're going to be pretty balling anyway, because we've got this Dredger. So we'll just discard Icarid, Shambling Shell, Serum Powder. And we've now managed to establish Force Blue card for a bit of protection. Opponent fetches Undercity. Pitches a Misty. Doesn't want that. And now it's up to them to come up with something good to do. They deploy a Mana Crypt. They've got more mana than ever. They cast Stock Up. Do we want to fight Stock Up? They've got 2 cards left. I think we do. I think we just want to strand things. Okay, and then they've got the Flusterstorm, a Mana Drain back. That's not nice. That's really not nice for us at all. So the Stock Up's going to get through. The Mana Drain will give them mana this turn, so they need to use it straight away. But they have got a blue floating and a ruby. 3 cards in hand once the Stock Up's resolved. And then they cast Brainstorm. So then they're going to have a land drop to give. And 5 mana post combat. No, Jesus. 6 mana post combat. 7 mana post combat with a land. What did they counter? They countered Force of Will, yeah. Holy hell, that's going to be a lot of mana. They play a Scalding Tarn. They get their drain mana. They've got 2 cards left in hand. And they don't use their mana at all. Okay, so we kind of dodge there. Icarid's going to trigger. We're going to go over the top. They've got 2 cards left over. Icarid, chill and a miss. But we do hit a green creature for... We do hit a black creature for the Icarid here. I don't know how to get rid of that hover thingy. It's horrendous. And then we'll Shambling Shell. We'll hit a Narc. And in we go for 3. Opponent falls to 13. We did get another Shambling Shell in the bin. And 1 in hand. Opponent's fetching. I'm concerned we're going to be a bit slow here because they've got quite a lot on. they're at 12. They win the crypt flip, which is not ideal. We've been through 3 creeping chills so far. 2 creeping chills. 2 creeping chills so far. And now this is a Bolus's Citadel. They cast Alorian Revealed. I think they've made a land drop. Turn 3, yes. They've made a land drop, so they can get blocked here. That's a Hull Breacher. They're dead to their crypt. They can get a treasure from my Bazaar, potentially. But we're still going to just jam. They play a Manifold Key. We're still just going to jam over the top. They can be dead to their crypt flip. Shambling Shell, Golgari Thug. None of those are creeping chills. Ikarid's going to eat the Hull Breacher. Well, it's going to eat the Grief first of all. And then it'll eat the Hull Breacher in combat. If the Thug hits one of our 2 chills, we win. We hit a Narcomoeba instead. In we go with creatures. Obliged to block with the Hull Breacher. Goes to 2. Has a Mana Crypt flip to win. And then has to kill us. Loses the Crypt flip, we win the game. Okay. Kind of got away with one there. It felt like, at least. I am interested in Vigors. I am interested in Chalice. I am somewhat interested in a range of Sickening Shoals. I think the Ghouls are usually a nice, easy cut. And then a couple of Noxious. I think just a couple. I want my green count to be acceptable. But then we've still got 2 Sickening Shoals to account for here. Maybe 1 Thug. 1 Ikarid? Maybe just 1 Noxious and we just accept that we're not about that. I don't want the preview pane to happen at all. How do I turn that off? I don't know. I'll try and do it between rounds. Right, so opponent is on the play this time round. We don't have a Bazaar of Baghdad again. So we're to 5. And now we'll powder. And we'll hide sideboard cards. And anti-hate cards. Back to 4 where we started last game, down to 3. The hands have not been kind. We're going to keep Grave Troll Hollow 1. Grave Troll's a green card, and our best Dredger. Hollow 1 is a threat that doesn't die to Graveyard Hate. Opponent starts off with the old Git Probe. So they know our hand is cool. But we are not equipped to come up with any sort of anti-hate measure here. So Underground Sea. And nothing, just a passing of the turn. Interesting. Oh no, a Vampiric. Fair enough. And I've got 1 Noxious. We'll activate the Bazaar. Do we want to play a Hollow 1? Or do we want to have a Force of Negation open? That is the question. I think we want a Force of Negation open. I don't know, that sounds horrendous. If they've just vamped for Soul Guide Lantern. But then if they just vamped for Tabernacle. I think I'm going to get rid of the Hollow 1. I'm going to try and fight. That might be hideous. If they've just got Strip Mine, we've got Slow Dredgers. Island. And then just a passing of the turn. Wow. I can do passing of the turn as well, though, right? Get a Grave Troll back. Narcomoeba. I will go over the top of this. We do hit the prized amalgam here. So chill you, make a narc. You get an amalgam. I get an amalgam, sorry. And we still got negation open. And they brainstorm end step into possible cycle Lorien or mystical or something like that. So, yeah, I don't know. We seem fine. But obviously, Eric's playing quite a high-powered deck, right? Like, it's the Tabernacle at Pendle Vale is fine. That one's not a drama. We can just go and find some Icarids. I guess that's what they vamped for. We're not going to activate. We're just going to ensure we've always got this online. I guess I don't need to do anything, because all I'm doing next turn is digging for Icarids anyway. So I'd rather protect my good Dredger against Soul Guide Lantern or something. This is Polluted Delta. That's Manifold Key. I think Manifold Key is acceptable. And we're just looking for Icarids in the end step. And the amalgams being in play doesn't make a difference because of the tab. We've got one Icarid so far. So Shambling Shell, still only one Icarid. We are on their end step. So trigger some amalgams, they'll move around some game zones. It'd be good to reorder our graveyard like that. So Narc's gonna die. Icarid's gonna eat grief. Dredge step, we hit a grave troll. Sorry, this should be out here. Dredge, a grave troll. Hit a creeping chill and another Icarid. One, two, three. So we've only got one creeping chill left in our 21 after this. So these two Icarids need to do the job. Our opponent has got a polluted delta over there, which can help us. So I guess once they fetch, we can Hail Mary into that creeping chill. But if not, they're dead to the two Icarids next turn anyway. So yeah, Force of Will to protect something, fetch land, and then we get at least 8 looks at the final creeping chill to burn them out. And if they continue to take no game actions, then we've got 2 Icarids, which will kill. And there's 2 more Icarids. There's 1 more Icarid to find because there's 1 in exile from a powder early doors. Ravenous Trap me. I'm not enamored by that. Am I supposed to go now? Then if I lose my Icarid, then I can't actually kill them. I'm going to let that happen. So I've got 1 creeping chill, 1 Icarid left, and this turn to kill them. No responses. I guess I'm supposed to activate this bazaar here though. But if they've got another trap, then I am dead. If they've got another ravenous trap, we die here. No. But that just meant we played around the whole breacher, right? They've got another land. They pass to us, our creatures die. I think we can just take a draw step. So I can protect. What do we think about that? But then if I draw my Creeping Chill, I'm going to feel stupid. But if I dredge 5 and get Rav trapped again, then we're also going to be sad. Just dredge 5. I'm not sure how to. So I want to be able to protect it. So I think maybe I was supposed to just take draw step there. 1, 2, 3. Whole breacher. Fine. I think I want to go now before they can draw more cards, because they've got 1 card in hand. So Golgari Grave Troll. Stinkweed Imp. There's my Creeping Chill and you die. And if you've got Ravenous Trap, I've got the negation open. We win the match. Very nice. Bit weird at the end. But we got there, so I guess we did something right. It was just the trap played around the negation. The Dredge 5 at sorcery speed is maybe really bad. But we need to do 2 things. We need to find our Icarid or we need to find our Creeping Chill, right? And we've only got 1 of each left. But we get there. And I'm going to try and work out how to get rid of this. Okay, then round 2, we're up against Musa Sabi. We're on the play though. And this time we do manage to get Bazaar on 7. So we'll keep. We've got some protection. We've got 2 dredgers. We're down a chill, but that's fine. We can try and filter these into something better. Ideally, we'd hit a grief or a hollow one here. And see how it goes. But a nice opener. Okay, opponent also keeps 7. Yeah, really looking for one of our nice turn 1 plays off of this activation. We do miss, so let's go Shambling Shell, Serum Powder, Stinkweed Imp, and then see what happens on our opponent's turn. Underground Sea. Thought sees me. I don't like giving them the info. But they can't get me off of both. So I think we keep 1 and force them to have permission in the future. I do take the Force of Will, which seems predictable. That's a Mox Ruby. And then just a passing of the turn. And then we want to come up with something nice and quick here. So upkeep, the Bazaar will activate. And then Stinkweed Imp, Stinkweed Imp. Missing on Narcomoebas. There's a lot of amalgams, so Creeping Chill or Narc is pretty sick here. Stinkweed Imp dredges, and we miss completely. So we're going to be really slow to kill. We've got 2 Icarids next turn, which bring in 2 amalgams. But that could be just too slow. Opponent has a Ponder. And we might have just been fucking around a bit too much here as well with this force of negation, because the opponent knows about it. Am I supposed to snipe the ponder? If I snipe the ponder, does it just get dazed or countered back or ignored because they know the path is clear to play their payoff, you know? But next turn we've got Icarid, and up to 3 creeping chills to gain access to. And then our opponent will have 1 turn which they have to kill through a force of negation with. We can't kill next turn, which is a shame. If we'd hit this turn, we would be able to. But there's a Misty Rainforest, which snaps off straight away. Into a C, into a DT. And I think I'll fight that DT. So if that DT is trying to clear a path, the negation just gets through. So Stinkweed Imp, all the stuff goes away. Bring back the Narcs, this will trigger the Amalgams. And then we'll eat a Grief. And we'll eat a Shambling Shell. And we'll dredge a Stinkweed Imp. Miss on Creeping Chill, so our Silver Smoke still won't be in, but we will have 3 Amalgams and a pretty dead opponent. So there we go. Over to them, and they're dead. Perfect. So we held the negation held, and they died. We don't really know what they're doing. I think I like the idea of I don't like the idea of Chalice on the draws. Let's just do Vigor, I think. Vigor and maybe some lip service to Sickening Shoals. Discard the Ghouls. Discard a Thug. Couple of Noxious. And this can just cover against a random Jailer out of the board from the opponent. I don't think we need Chalice, but we will bring it in on a play if we do go to a 3. A 3rd game. Bizarre Vigor. No other interaction though. Opponent keeps on 7. Doesn't have a Leyline of the Void. Mox Jet. Misty Rainforest. Thoughtseize Me. Thoughtseize Me is distressing. But we'll let it go. We'll force them to take the Vigor. If that is their anti-graveyard plan. They take this anyway, right? Because they're not taking these other cards. But it means I don't lose my 1 Dredger. I've got a Mox Pearl. And a Soul Guide Lantern. Okay. Soul Guide's fine. We can play through that, I think. They don't have Lurrus of the Dream Den. Let's play and activate the Bazaar of Baghdad. I've got 2 more. We'll feed them Icarid, Shambling Shell, Creeping Chill. And then we'll cast a Hollow One. That gets Force of Will, so opponent is out of cards now. So they are Hellbent. They get Hedge Maze. Oh, they're playing Oath of Druids. They've got another Soul Guide Lantern to eat the Icarid with. I think that's fine. I guess you hit Icarid here. No, they've gone for Shambling Shell, though. That's cute. We will still activate Upkeep. And miss on everything. So I think we'll just discard the Misstep. So no response here. I'm going to eat the other Icarid and then Noxious the Hollow One. If I'm allowed to. I don't think they'll nuke this for 3 damage. It doesn't look like a spot where your opponent's gonna, but I am. And now we'll knock just a hollow one. And this might get the activation off of them. It does. So we've... Oh my god. What a sick moment. So we'll 3 them. And we'll play Bazaar. Then we'll cast Hollow One. And I don't think I'm upkeeping this time around. We've forced one Soul Guide Lantern to get cracked. They've got a Ponder. Which is pretty good. Ponder comes up with nothing, so we're just gonna untap, I think. No response to the Icarid. Draw step. We'll activate Bazaar. That wasn't great. Combat you for 4. You go to 9. And then we'll play Bazaar of Baghdad and pass the turn. And then we'll see what opponent came up with. So they... Last turn they pondered. And they shuffled. So the card in hand was a blind draw, and this card here is a blind draw. Stock up is a good blind draw from them. And hopefully, if this first Bazaar activation hits a Dredger, we can force this Soul Guide Lantern. And then we've got triple Bazaar activation in our turn. So Misty Rainforest fetches down to 8. Finds a Trop. Finds a Sapphire. Is this an Oath? We just get all the way there. It's pretty brutal. Misses on Dredger. I'm just going to go again. Misses on Dredger. Horrendous news. So let's go over the top of the Icarid trigger. I know they've got a Soul Guide Lantern. I find a Grief, which forces something, I'm sure. Yep. And now we'll activate this. Miss on Dredger. Miss on Dredger. And that's really problematic. Did I cut all of my Dredgers? We have had one Shambling Shell in 33 cards. I cut one Thug, so I'm on 11. So maybe the problem is me. Can't believe we're going to lose the triple Bazaar turn. I think they just hit another Soul Guide as well. They ponder. They're just on Soul Guide Lanterns then? Oh dear. That was upsetting. We saw so many cards. And we dredged so hard. So hang on, I need to count my creeping chills. I've got 1 in the graveyard. I've got 2 in exile. So I cannot kill my opponent with chills. And they do not play a fetch land. They do play a Vexing Bauble. Then they play a Soul Guide Lantern. I think we're actually just cold. The Sickening Shoals are obviously bad. They besage you a Bazaar of Baghdad. We'll give it a shuffle, just to confirm there is only 1 Creeping Chill left in the deck. Yep. I'm not sure how we get through this. No Dredgers. No Dredgers. Well, there you have it. That's upsetting. Do I bring the ghoul back in though? We are dead, so let's go. But yeah, that was wild. Okay, I'm already down a thug. I don't hate 2 thugs though. That's the thing. 8, 9, 10, 11. I definitely don't need the sickening shoals now, right? I think I like the chalice. I think I like the. Do I like the noxious? I think I like the chalice. And then do I want some silver smoke ghouls? Not really. I think I'm happy with this as a build. 3 bazaars and we still get bodied. And now we're not going to find a bazaar of Baghdad? Genuinely just thought those bazaars were just going to completely overwhelm our opponent. But alas, no. So we're at 5. We've got some interaction. We've not got any dredges. We'll put back Creeping Chill and Narcomoeba. Creeping Chill to the bottom. Is that true? I think so. So Narcomoeba above the Creeping Chill. Creeping Chill's the absolute bottom card. We know where it is. We'll give this an activation. They've got 6 cards in hand, so they did take a mulligan. And we've got to hope for something. Okay, so we do miss on dredges. We'll discard Icarid, Powder, Amalgam. I'm not against eating the amalgams as well, so that we can deal damage with Icarids. See what opponent comes with. I will negate a Soul Guide at this stage in the game. And then if they've got Force Back, they've got Force Back. We've just got to come up with a way around it, or through it. I think through it at this point. Opponent having a ponder and a think about this one. They have Force of Will back. Pitching Show and Tell. Okay. So they'll eat my Icarid. I think we can just take a draw. Or do I want to take an activation? I think a draw is better, because if it's a green draw, then that's quite cool. It's not a green draw. So let's activate the Bazaar. One, two. Grief or Chalice. Grief seems really slow. 3 cards in hand. Force of Vigor's too slow at this point. Is Chalice actually doing anything for us? So I can keep the Vigor and try and draw a green card again next turn. But if they just go Orchard Oath. But maybe that's better because I feel like they're less likely to play Orchard Oath than... I don't know. Maybe not less likely, but... I feel like attempting to draw a green card into just a naked Oath seems fine. Orchard Oath obviously kills us. That's Underground Sea. And then just a pass. So maybe they're on Show and Tell Traxer. Moxjet, so not Show and Tell Traxer. Let's activate our Bazaar. We do hit green card. We will discard green card and try and slow dredge it next turn if we're allowed to. So opponent draws and passes. We just go to our draw step, pick up our Shambling Shell. We hit a Stinkweed Imp and stuff, but we're just going to pass. And then upkeep will go after their mana. And their Soul Guide Lantern. Vampiric Tutor, okay. And this hopefully gets through and hopefully gets through their whatever they've vamped for. Because if they've just vamped for Show and Tell and they're holding a Traxxer. And we'll let this lot get exiled, that's fine. And they vamped for, I assume, Show and Tell. Maybe something else. Yeah, the Soul Guide Lantern gets exiled. The Soul Guide Lantern exiles our graveyard. We've got a Vigor in the yard. Their Mox Jet's dead, so we get the Stone Rain off. And now we can activate here. Hopefully hit a Dredger. Do hit a Dredger. That's pretty tasty. And then I'm just going to try and fill my graveyard and get some stuff into play. Filled my graveyard. Got an Amalgam. Dredger Thug. Hit another Narc. Amalgam's in. We're not the fastest. We have been through one Creeping Chill. The Icarid's here. I'm going to activate. I'm going to ignore the concept of Ravenous Trap here. I think they're just holding Show and Tell Traxxer, and our Vigor got through them. We'll eat a Shambling Shell at this point. We'll dredge a Grave Troll. Hit another Creeping Chill. You're down to 11. We'll hit you for 8. We'll hit you for 8, down to 3. 1, 2, 3 Creeping Chills here. And none in the bin, and we've got 17 cards. 1, 2, 3. I've got a Grave Troll. It's a fucking 9/9. Look at this piece of shit. 7/7. Absolutely awful, Musasabi. What are you playing at? They've made a land drop. They didn't hit a Mox here, so their Soul Guide Lantern that they've just hit is not good until next turn. We've got Creeping Chill and Lethal Grave Troll. They could have a Mox in hand, actually. But we've got Dredge 15, and they concede the match. So that was cool. I've got a 9/9 Grave Troll. I feel like we got supremely unlucky in game 2. Like, just... But I did sideboard out of Thugs. I don't know how much like complaint equity I can keep, you know? Okie dokie. We're on the draw then, round 3. 2 Bazaars, no blue card for this negation. Up against Jake Up LVT. Don't know, don't think I've played them before. That's quite cool. But 2 Bazaars, a turn 1 Grief, and then maybe even the opportunity to turn this into a spell that's irrelevant. So we will keep. Opponent's on 6. And let's hope the opener isn't too busted, because we don't have anything to do on 0. So if we make it through, then we should be fine. The fact they're on 6 means they've got no Lurus. Oppo keeps 6. Okay. Over to you then, young Jake. Vintage Championship Week top 32. Okay, so they know their way around. Ancient Tomb. Sensei's Divining Top. So a Raker Shops build, which isn't a great matchup for us. And a Manifold Key. Interesting. Any Moxen over there? No. So we do get to grief them. We may get to turn this negation on. We do get to turn this negation on quite simply as well. That was cool. I wouldn't mind upgrading it to a Force of Will. Doesn't happen. But we can discard Imp, Amalgam, Powder. And now we can grief our opponent. And we've got some plays to make as well, because we've got Noxious. Like, we can just use all the cards in our hand. So let's see what they're working with here. Fleshraker, Mystic Forge. So we'll take the Fleshraker. And we can negate the Forge on the way down. And they've got Talongates in hand, which isn't very good. They can draw 2 off of their top this turn. I don't think our... Yes, they're going to do some top stuff here. I don't think this Noxious is going to have much of an effect on the game. So I'm pretty sure we're just going to negate the Forge on the way down this turn or next turn. It might mean we have to play slightly slower, but it means that our opponent doesn't resolve a Mystic Forge, which is a pretty big game, if you ask me. Oh, they're just taking a look. They're not doing anything. Maybe they drew a workshop. Or they're looking for a workshop. I thought they would have drawn 2. Oh, that's what they're going in for now. Okay. No, they're just drawing 1. Fine. They play the Talongates. No response to that either. Oh, no, just play a Time Vault. Okay, well, we'll exile that one instead then. So they're holding Mystic Forge. They've got a top on top of their deck. They've got a top on top of their deck. Yeah, fine. So we will just... Do we gain anything from going over the top with our Noxious here? Not really, right? So we can just activate 2 Bazaars this turn and hope it's pretty good for setting up lethal the following turn and that they don't get anywhere. We know the top card's top. We know they're holding a Mystic Forge. We miss there. So I've just got the 1 Dredger, which isn't ideal. We hit 2 Creeping Chills. No more Dredgers, though. They should be dead next turn, though, with all of the shit that's coming into play. I did hit a Dredger, so we'll spin again, and then Creeping Chill you down again. Narcomoeba, Creeping Chill, blah, blah, blah. So the biggest problem we could come across here is a 1 ring. That's really hard for them to get into when we know that they're holding Mystic Forge and 1. So Mystic Forge and Mystery, and they've just drawn a Sensei's top. They play a Sensei's top, so they can't get to the Forge. They just flip the card. And they play a Mana Vault, and this provides a Mystic Forge or a 1 ring. It provides a 1 ring, okay. But they are running out of life points. How many chills have we used? 1, 2, 3. Yep, 3 Mystic Forges. We won't use any of these. 3 Mystic Forges. 3 Creeping Chills have gone. The Ichorids will hang out. We will take a random draw, and it will not be a Creeping Chill. Good news. And then we'll pass to them. We'll let them hang out for a moment. They maybe need to untap that Mana Vault. They do. But then they just can't produce mana. Yeah, no, I think you just got to take it, right? So set a stop on their draw step. They can take the 1, and then in your draw step, I'm just going to go for this final Creeping Chill. Let's hope it's in my deck. Narcomoeba, Creeping Chill, and good night to our opponent. So that was cool. Okay, Raker Shops makes me want quite a few cards, I think, but I don't know if that's like overdoing it. Chalice on the draw, I think we'll leave out. The Griefs on the draw are pretty shoddy. I like all of the permission. I think maybe I'll just trim the griefs. I got burned trimming thugs earlier, so we're already low. Do I want Sickening Shoal or do we not care? Do we just want to be pretty, like, pure with it all? Maybe we could bring in a Silver Smoke Ghoul and then cut 2 more griefs. Or all the griefs. But maybe I want griefs and I can come down in the Noxious Thug 1 grief. And I've got all of my ghoul, I've got all my threats. I've got quite a lot of interaction. I'm just down a grief on the draw. And there's no Bazaar of Baghdad here. Nice hand otherwise, but there is no Bazaar of Baghdad here. Okay, so we mulligan. And then we powder. I think we hide Force of Will. So we've got Vigors. We've got the Bazaar. We need them to not be too good on this first turn. Like a turn 1 Wandering is a real problem. So Mox Jet. They tap that for a Mana Vault. So they've got the Ring if they want it. They've got the Forge if they want it. Tezzeret, wow. That's not great for me. And they just get a Vexing Bauble. So, well, we'll nuke your mana. And then we'll eat your next draw step. And that will hopefully buy us some time. And they play a Soul Guide Lantern. Okay, that's fine. I mean, it's not fine. It's pretty difficult for us, but... Okay. Over to us. We will activate. And we will go... Shambling Shell, Icarid, Silver Smoke. Just grief. And hold on to a bit of graveyard later in the form of a Silver Smoke Ghoul. And this means that if they go for the upkeep activation on my Shambling Shell, then we can go over the top of it. So they draw the Dead Moxjet this turn. They play a Sensei's top. Tezzeret increases to 4 loyalty, and then they can just go and get a Needle, and that basically puts us out of the game, doesn't it? A Grafdigger's Cage. Grafdigger's Cage also works, that's fine. I don't think we need to hang around too much more there. I want Chalice on the play. I want Grief on the play. I don't think these Noxious seem particularly good in this matchup. I mean, they're good with the Vigors, but that's about it. We will keep this. We will hope to hit a Grief. Okay. No Leyline. Activate Bazaar. Hit another Bazaar. No point messing around. We'll just hold up Force of Will, discard our best dredgers, and hope to have a very good turn next turn after we've countered their spells. I don't want this draw step stop anymore. Ancient Tomb. Grim Monolith is fine. Fleshraker, I think, is fine. Mox Emerald. So we just don't want to die to Cage or Needle here, right? I'm going to fight the Soul Guide Lantern, I think. They've still got 2 mana left over, though, which is not ideal. They just have a Time Vault, wow. We got a key as well? No. I think we go over the top. I don't think we try and find a Vigor here. And we just pray that this holds. We'll eat the grief. Dredge a Stinkweed Imp. Hit another Creeping Chill. Play this and activate it. We were never finding a Vigor this whole game. In for 3. Opponent chumps. If they've got Tezzeret, we lose. If they've got Key, we lose. I'm not confident. Yeah, there's the Key. And we're just dead. So they never need to go into combat, right? We didn't even hit a very good board state after all of that. So, yeah, we're dead. We have lost. We've been through all 4 Creeping Chills. So we can't even let them just like draw, accidentally tap this and draw a Scrawling Crawler or something. Okay, very good. You win. So we go to 2-1 in the tournament. Black Dex is 3-0. Nice. Right, see you for the next one. Okie dokie. Round 3 on the play against Las Vegas Chaos. Round 4 on the play against Las Vegas Chaos. And we've got a pretty nice opener. Opponent is on mono white. May have a chance of the annex. We'll wait and see. We will be negating mana if allowed. We may be negating mana anyway to clear a Chancellor, so we can then Noxious as a Wasteland, you know? Right. I wonder if opponent appears. Okay, so there is a Chancellor trigger on the stack that we have to remember. I do have a hollow one to clear it, or I can... Oh, that's not very pretty. I think I just discard these, Noxious a Creeping Chill, clear the Chancellor trigger, cast a hollow one to have a creature in play, negate mana, and slow Dredge if they waste me. I think that seems to play. They've got a Strip Mine, that's fine. I've got slow Dredges, and I've got negation for your mana. I've only got 1 Dredge actually. So let's think we'd miss on Dredges completely. If I'd taken the draw, I think I hit Bazaar of Baghdad. We have not been good at hitting Dredges today. This could be a long one, or a tough one, I mean. We're taking draw steps after this. Ancient Tomb, Void Mirror. Do I want to fight Void Mirror? Probably. Probably, because I can hit like Griefs and Future Forces and stuff like that, and Future Noxious. Say Future Noxious, there's 3 of them in my bin already. That's a negation for you. You're at 10. Your Cavern, and then your spell sends you to 8. Cleric for White Plume. And White Plume's a massive problem. You go to 4. I get the initiative. Can't do anything with it. And now they're going to get the initiative and the forge and the untap. At which point we're then really slow. Unless they randomly lost well here, which would be maniacal. No, they forge. So then how do we ever win? That's not massively relevant. That guy untaps. We can't attack. We get trapped and then we chump. And we're just looking to top deck a Bazaar of Baghdad here, I think. But we might be dead before then anyway. Season Dungeon. Oh no, okay, that guy. So I take 5 and then I take 5 and I'm just dead. Yeah. Okay, so I would like Chalice on the play. I'd like the 4 shoals. And I would like the Vigors. I think I can just come off blue at that point. Just completely. And then we may reassess that on the draw. But on the play, I think this is better. Because we play around Cavern, Void Mirror, Vexing Bauble, all of that. By reducing the permission, we can nuke their mana, we can nuke their creatures, we can nuke their mana. So I think that sounds good. Okay, so we're on the play. We don't have a Bazaar. We have a Bazaar and double Grief. So we'll keep this. We'll send a Narc. No, we won't. Yeah, we will, because I don't have a reason for Narc, right? And we can get it in. If we get the initiative later, then they've got a Leyline of the Void and a chance for the Annex. Okay. No figures for us. So I think we are supposed to just clear that with the Grief. Am I supposed to do that now? Maybe not now. Void Mirror kills us here. And that would be annoying, but sometimes that's the way it goes. If your opponent has, you know, chance to Leyline Void Mirror, you're not winning those games. They've got a Wasteland, that's fine, because I've already got a Bazaar of Baghdad. And we just need to top deck Vigor straight up. We don't, so how do you play? I think I just play and activate. I find the Vigor, but then I need to find a new black card for my Grief, because there's still a chance to trigger, remember. Hope they don't have double waste. Ancient Tomb, Black Lotus. And Vexing Bauble kills us. So we lose. Which is annoying. Okay then, round 5 I think, against Sokos 13. We're on the draw. I don't know this player like I know other players, so it'd be a mystery to what they're playing. Okay, so opponent begins the game with 7 cards in hand. We mulligan to 6 because there's no Bazaar of Baghdad. Then we go to 5. And now we powder and we'll rescue a Creeping Chill and a Grief. And say done. And now we'll keep this. So penultimate card is Creeping Chill. Opponent's on the play with 7. It looks like they've got a reveal though of some variety. I think they might have a Chancellor, which wouldn't be good news for my hollow one. Yeah, there it is, Chancellor of the Annex. So mono white again, not ideal. Chrome Mox. Chancellor, Ancient Tomb, Archon of Emeria. Rip. Well, we'll play the Bazaar of Baghdad, get wasted, and go to game 2. I can resolve one of these hollow ones if I untap, though, which is potentially a big game. They don't have the Wasteland. They do have the 4-mana spell. So they take the initiative. They've got a very quick clock, but I do have a Bazaar. So that's actually interesting, right? Like, if I hit any spell that I can cast, another hollow one, a Noctis Revival would be incredible. Then I can't double spell because they've got a Archon, so let's just forget that train of thought. Activate the Bazaar of Baghdad. I'm going for these two here, unless I hit, obviously, like a Grave Troll. 2 Icarid and an Imp. And I do cast a hollow one because I want to resolve the hollow one next turn, so that might make me too slow. That Chancellor trigger might just do enough. Because what, I take 10 billion damage? So 13, maybe 12 life. No, way more than that because of the Forge, yeah. They find another Archon on top of their deck. That doesn't really do anything. So I'm taking 8 here down to 10, 5, and I'm just dead on board. Yeah. And Creeping Chill is far too low in our deck to do anything. And another Seasoned Dungeoneer just trapped me harder. 2 Icarids. Let's see where our Stinkweed Imp can get us. Stinkweed Imp, Golgari Grave Troll. Discard Grave Troll, Stinkweed Imp, Shambling Shell. 1 Creeping Chill is not going to be enough here. We'll eat Shell and Thug, I guess. But my 1 Narc, I really need to just hit the other 2 chills in this, and then even then, what is it, 9, 10, 11? Yeah, so if they double explore, we'll still die. So Golgari Grave Troll hits 1 Creeping Chill. So our final out is that they misstack their explores. 3/4 gets in the way of a 3/1. And then we cast a hollow one, and what is this? Paying costs? Oh wow, that seems weird. Now I'm not dead on board, and you're at 8. You've already trapped me. That was very odd. So what happens now? So you get the archives. I'm taking 9, 10, 11 potentially, but I get to double a single block the Archon of Emeria if I want to. I know all of that information beforehand. Then I've got triple Icarid on the way in. Anointed Peacekeeper, kind of annoying actually. I'll turn off the Bazaar of Baghdad. That means my final Creeping Chill's not in range. Well, it's not my final creeping chill. Oh, but that does kill all of my dredging for the rest of the game if I eat my 3 Stinkweed Imps. He's got a name Zara Baghdad. That's not particularly close, I don't think. But now I don't think they can attack me, can they? That plow was real tough. So, block, block, block. Block, take 8. So if all the creatures in play block 3 or 4 power creatures on their side of the table, then I will have 2 Ichorids and a Narcomoeba get through if I eat all 3 of my Stinkweed Imps, which is sat in the bin with my 3 Ichorids. If they attack, then they just absolutely die. Seasoned Dungeoneer. Tiny Dungeoneer gets in. They draw an Ancient Tomb, that's fine. I think they're just dead now. So let's just eat all the Stinkweed Imps, right? Who cares about slow dredging if my opponent's not playing anymore? Crunch. Yeah, wild stuff. Was that plow necessary? I feel like that plow gave me the life points to work with. I don't know. So, what's the other card I'm supposed to have? Maybe just a rando chalice? That seems pretty bad on the draw. Let's just ship this. We'll have the chalice anyway. I don't know, I might need to rewatch that one. Because I felt like if they don't plow my guy, they just take 3, and then I'm very dead on the way back through, no? Anyway, never mind. We'll mulligan, and then we'll mulligan, and then we'll keep this and get rid of Amalgam, Narcomoeba. And we've got a ley line on the opposite side of the table and a chance of the annex. So they love it. They love playing against Dredge. So Chrome Mox, the stack's gone into a strange place. Tap land into Chrome Mox is absolutely wild. So we can play the Bazaar, activate it, discard Creeping Chill, Serum Powder. It doesn't matter, they're all getting exiled. Grief You, play Hollow One, or Hollow One Grief You? I think Grief You, play Hollow One. So we're breaking this Chancellor, remember, so I won't pay the 1, I will play the 4/4. And now we've got a card with Dreams and Aspirations of Noxious Revival. Maybe it's supposed to be Grief, because if this is just a cleric guy, then we're just so fucked, you know? Vigor Me? Noxious Revival. Okay, so we get an attack. Looks like they're going to play a Seasoned Dungeoneer, though, next turn. But we can jibe with that for a little bit. But next turn we get an activation. That activation will bring us... Oh no, their hand's just awful. Okay, so they're just holding Containment Priest. Sure, so actually our Vigor doesn't matter. Now we've got Sickening Shoal plus Force of Vigor pitch cards available. Back to me again. There's a Force of Vigor. So that's 4 you. You're at 8. Now my Creeping Chill's alive. I've got 3 of them left. Upkeep, I'm going to absolutely annihilate your mana. So, to the Stone Age with you. You can have a draw step. So the Chancellor's been broken, the ley line's dead. I've got a graveyard, they've got a Containment Priest. And they're dead to the remaining chills in my deck. So their Containment Priest is not textless, but it's pretty darn close, you know. So they do nothing. We activate Bazaar of Baghdad. We draw a Creeping Chill, so now they're not dead to that. So now their Plow is very good. Didn't mean to go through my upkeep there. Hit on Dredges anyway. So if they've got a Plowshares, it's really good. Plowshares into Containment Priest. So the Containment Priest is in play. We'll let them line up the blocks. They do. And now that we know that they've got Priest, I think we go here because we want to get all our guys into play. Literally 0 guys in play. Beautiful stuff. Literally none of the guys. Literally no Icarids, but they still scooped it up. That's nice. The Vigor comes through, puts them in the ground, and Containment Priest blocks a hollow one. So that went well. Always tricky, unlike that Grief turn, I think. I think they made a slight mistake here with the Chrome Mox. Like, they had no reason to have that Chrome Mox in play at any point in that game, right? That Chrome Mox just got obliterated for no reason. It could have just been Leyline tap land, and then land hold up Containment Priest, and then the turn you want to use your mana, you can then deploy the Chrome Mox. So I think that was like slightly inefficient use of cards on that side of the table, which maybe is the difference on this turn here, the concession turn, where they're down a mana. I don't know what their hand is, but it's just something we can all learn from, I think. Okie dokie, 6th and final round of our challenge. We're up against what appears to be a verification code. I'm on the play, and I've got a mulligan to 6. So now we'll powder away all of our permission. So powder, sure, give me an amalgam. And then, I think that's actually supposed to be save Narcomoeba, but never mind. We'll keep this, we'll bottom this one and this one. So the Narc is above the other guy, the Creeping Chill. And for mulligan, we've got a pretty nice hand. So we can activate our Bazaar of Baghdad, put our stack into a good place, and we've got Hollow One, Permission, and a way to protect our Bazaar of Baghdad. So life's sweet, whole challenge, no Lurus decks. We've got Nut Dredgers, or Nutty Dredgers, not the Nut Nuts, but pretty good. And then our opponent is on 8 cards after their draw steps. They kept the full 7 and concede the game. They're having a great day out. How funny. So we'll just bring in some Vigors. And do I want to die to a creature? I think we can bring in a couple of Sickening Shoals. Like Thug, Grief. We're just going to trim across the board. By trim, I mean absolutely destroy these Ghouls. Give me my Grief back. Icarid, Thug, and some Ghouls. We took out a Stinkweed, but that's got to be incorrect. Yeah, we'll drop a Grief. Maybe that's too aggro. I don't know. And I haven't done well dropping Thugs today. So we mulligan, and then we keep and maybe kill on turn 1 again. It's not every day we get turn 1 kill with Dredge, so that was cool. So we're 3-2 at the moment with absolutely 0 outs of top 8ing if we get the 4-2. Because last round, Musasabi defeated Eric in the 1-4 matchup. So really not going to have the breakers to get anywhere. One of our opponents is doing well, and then the other one is down here somewhere. So this is just pride and joy at this point. We'll powder. We will save maybe blue cards. And we'll keep this. Opponent's on 6, we're on 5. They've got a Tropical Island, interesting. And a Mox Emerald. And a Soul Ring, okay. No show and tell. No merchant scroll. Wow. Merchant scroll for what? Ancestral. That makes a lot of sense. Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. So we'd really like to come up with another blue card here. Our opponent can't cast Ancestral until their turn. Creeping Chill's not ideal. Let's activate this. We do come up with blue card. We'll discard these. We'll cast a hollow one. We'll cast a hollow one. We didn't come up with a Dredger because I sideboarded out my one and only Dredger. And opponent's turn. They take a draw. There are 4 cards. One of them is an Ancestral. We clearly negate the Ancestral. And if they fight back and win, then they fight back and win. But not interested in any of that. They might have Oath of Druids here. That would be a problem. Especially seeing as we've got no Dredgers. They've got a Forbidden Orchard. Yeah, doesn't look great. I've got no cards in hand. Oh, 4 mana. Oko Thief of Crowns. That's not a problem, I don't think. They make a food token. They've got 1 card in hand. We'll activate the Bazaar. Miss on Dredgers. Miller Bazaar. Attack you for 9, I think. Attack you for 9 or kill Oko? No, just attack you for 9. I just don't care about your cards. How many creatures in my graveyard? 0. So if they show and tell, actually, they make another food token. Wild. They crack a food token. They crack a food token. That's not how I would have played that. We'll activate this so that we can get into our Golgari Grave Troll. We'll dredge our Grave Troll. Chill you. Attack you. Down to 3. We missed on dredges again, and we accidentally put creatures into our graveyard. So, if they do show and tell an Atraxa, our Golgari Grave Troll won't die. Show and tell's not cool, man. Do I want this in play? What, you're on 5? How many chills have we been through? 2. And then, so you show and tell an Atraxa. I attack. Atraxa invalidates. Hollow 1. So Atraxa has just gained 2 on combat. If I was to put this into play, it would be a 3/3, 4/4, 5/5. So then you would block it. You would gain 2. And you would block it, gain 7, going up to 12, and then you take 9. No, I think I want the Dredger, right? I don't think a 5/5 does it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. No. Ah. Cool. And they name creatures. And food token. Okay, so I understand the food token cracking now. Because now they're at how many life? 8 life points. And they've got a creature that we can't remove. And we don't have enough creeping chills to kill them, is that right? They're at 9. I do need to draw a Noxious Revival at some point. I don't know at what point I'm going to do that, though. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, no, I am actually just dead. So I can't deal combat damage to my opponent. So we lose. Okay, so Oath of Druids. So I don't want the Sickening Shoals. I do want the Grief. I do want the Thug. I do want the Chalice. Do I want Icarid as well? So what would I be cutting? Just these 2 negations? No, maybe we can cut the Vigors, the Noxious actually, because they're pretty bad. So 2 Noxious. And 3 ghouls have left the building in exchange for 1 Chalice of Void and 1 Force of Vigor at this point. Okay, so we'll be on the play for the final game. And we take a mulligan. And then we'll powder this. I think I'll save an Icarid. And now we'll keep. Opponent kept on 7, no ley line. I'd like to hit a Dredger here. I do. I also hit the second Bazaar of Baghdad. I will deploy the hollow one. And then we'll fight over the turn 1 oath. Brainstorm. Sure. Oh, that was really bad. I should have countered that because I'm gonna activate 2 Bazaars. So that was probably quite bad on our part. Because if they need this to get through their whole game, then Tormod's Crypt. Well, I'll fight that one. That happens. Back to us. We've got to let this Icarid go for a turn. So we can slow dredge the Stinkweed Imp. And then play the Bazaars and just dredge everything. Stinkweed Imp, Grave Troll. Go over the top of the Narc triggers. Grave Troll. Stinkweed Imp. Hit only 1 chill. I don't know if we exiled any earlier. Crunch. No, so we've still got 3 chills remaining in our deck. And they are actually in our deck. However, we still haven't dealt enough damage to defeat Show and Tell Emissary with chills. So that's a delta. They fetch. Is this Time Walk? Time Walk's horrendous. Because now they can Show and Tell Emissary. And we'll just be dead to that. Due to, you know, life points they have. Stock up. Oof. Now they're just dead to the board. Ancient Tomb's an interesting one. I guess if you're playing Stock Up and Show and Tell, Ancient Tomb's really busted. That's cool. Hadn't really paid attention to any sort of Oath of Druids tech recently. But any Soul Guide or anything like that is pretty irrelevant at this point because of the board. They've made a land drop, so finding Tabernacle at Pendule Vale doesn't do anything. It's got to be Mana Crypt or Lotus into Show and Tell Emissary, I think. So Hollow One gets blocked, that neuters 2 Amalgams and an Archimebus, so they take 4 down to 6. And there's 2 Icarids in the bin, which will deal the rest before we even hit a Creeping Chill. So Atraxa doesn't do it. It has to be Mana Crypt or Lotus, or Double Mox, obviously, into Emissary to have a chance in this game. And yeah, that would actually just lock us out because they never need to fetch and never need to force. So they concede the match. It's always sweaty against these sorts of decks, which do just have a lights out button in them, right? Like, but no, we dodged the Time Walk into Show and Tell Emissary. Our nutty 2 Bazaar hand defeats them. I think there's a world where I'm actually supposed to just like snap off that force on that Brainstorm though, because I know that I'm holding Bazaar and that if their turn is just Brainstorm go, then we kind of just lost all of the, you know, good things about our negation, right? But actually missing that was better because then we beat Tormod's Crypt. Anyway, that's a wrap. So this was our list. I do appreciate people making like all little innovations and slight adjustments that people make with the Dredge lists. 6 graveyard hate seems obnoxiously high to me though. Maybe the crypts are good against like breach or something, but then can't we just play crypts over traps? Like this is so many. 6 is so many, if you ask me. I know there's not like a deep well of pitch cards that you can play, but I think I would prefer mind break traps. I think I'd prefer a 4th thug over a ghoul. Like I think you can also just like considering like in the Lurus matchup, right? You could have some ghouls in the board for that. I don't know, interesting stuff. So we go with a record today. What was it, 4-2 in the end? I don't even know. Yeah, 4-2, which is fine and respectable. We will earn some prizes. They will be around this 9th to 16th, 24th sort of zone. So absolutely fine by me. Good luck to black decks in the top 8. And I will see you guys next time with some vintage magic.